Hello, you guys. You are tuned into the Let's Be Honest podcast, and I am your humble host, Big Bro Tone. And to be honest, this might be one of my favorite episodes of ever because we've all been waiting so long for this project to get here. We all know what I'm talking about. We're talking about none other than the Carter 5 by our very own Lil Wayne. Weezy F baby, Lil Weezyana, Weezy to the motherfucking, come on. I don't know about y'all, but I was genuinely just happy for the project to drop. So happy. It's just one of them things like you wait so long for it to get here. Then when it's here, you kind of don't know how to feel or you really don't know how to react. But all you gotta do is listen to the music. The project is honestly good. It's dope. It's very dope. It's very dope for what it is, and I honestly think it's just gonna get better with time. It's a very easy listen. When I say easy listen, it's not harsh on the ears at all. It sounds great cohesively. Songs stand great on their own. It's just a very dope project delivered by Wayne, and like I said, we've all been waiting so long for it. And projects like this, these are the kind of projects that kind of get lost in the shuffle. These are the kind of projects that kind of get lost in hip hop folklore, if that makes sense. The thing about this project is, not only did we wait so long for it, it kind of came with, or it kind of, how do you say, before the project dropped, it was built up with so much legal stuff that we honestly don't really want to get into. His issues with Birdman and Cash Money, and rumors of people not seeing the paper they supposed to see. All that negativity that was leading up to this project. Granted, in between all that, Wayne did try to feed us music. Wayne did try to give us, I believe it was the Dedication 6, I believe. He tried to give us that. He tried to give us little songs here and there to keep the streets warm, or somewhat anticipating something from him. People knew this project wasn't going to come until the legal battle was done. So I'm glad all of that is nipped in the bud regarding Wayne's business, and he got paid, so that's all that matters. The project is here. The Carter 5 is here. It dropped just this past Friday on Wayne's birthday. My man turned 36, I believe, 37. The dude is still young, and to think that he's been doing this since he was fucking 12, 11 is out of this world. Like Wayne's been so active in the game. It's unreal. Beginning with the Hot Boys, and listen. Regardless, the man has pedigree. He has history. He's a solidified legend, bona fide legend. And being quite honest with you, I don't think this project was going to make or break his legacy, for me at least. I knew what Wayne was. I know what Wayne is. I know what he brought to the table. I know what he brought to the rap game. And you can't doubt his pen. You can't doubt anything he's done. Now, all artists go through their transgressions regarding evolving and trying to keep their sound fresh, and just experimenting in the studio with different sounds, different instrumentation, different styles, whatever. We all know Wayne went through his guitar rock star phase. We all know he's an avid skateboarder, so he's really into like the skater lifestyle, skater ambiance, I guess you'll say. So Wayne has been going through a numerous amount of transitions and transformations, and matter of fact, I'd rather just call it an evolution throughout his entire career. And he's finally gotten to that space, judging off this project, he's finally gotten to that space where he's, I guess you'll say, at peace with himself, or at peace with the things he's done in his past in his life, and at peace with the people that he cares about. But fuck all the build up. I want to get right into the project. So we're going to start from top to bottom. We're going to work the project from outside in. Let's talk about it, the surface thing. So first things first, the project had 23 tracks on it. Now, In 2018, 23 tracks seems like a lot, right? But the dope thing about this project and the dope thing about the 23 tracks in general is Wayne's Carter series, his projects in the Carter series have always averaged between 18 to about 22, 23 tracks anyway. So it's not like he's doing anything out of the ordinary or he's reaching for streams. And, you know, it just so happens that the fact that he did what he normally does happens to work in the streaming era. And plus, Wayne can just do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like I said, Wayne's a legend. Doesn't need to be discussed. Doesn't need to be debated, really. 23 tracks, like I said, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all of them. I think I listened to the project about maybe 3 or 4 times all the way through. Maybe 5 times, I'm not really sure. After about that 3rd or 4th time through, you start bouncing around and you start finding your favorite songs. I'm gonna get into my favorite songs a little later in the episode, but I want to talk about the surface things that I noticed about the project just off the bat, just off that first initial listen. He really saved his best verses, his best songs, and his best beats for this album. I noticed that he hooked back up with Manny Fresh. He really saved the best verses, because when you think about it, a lot of people haven't been pleased with the Wayne we've gotten while he's been while he was tied up in his situation, and a lot of us felt that, I know me especially, I felt that he was kind of, I don't know, I felt like he couldn't drop the music he honestly wanted to drop. I felt like Wayne was limited. He was being held back. He couldn't clear certain things because of his legal battle. He had to release Dedication 6 on Dat Piff. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but let's be quite frank. Dat Piff ain't been that in a long time, if that makes sense. Dat Piff hasn't really been the go-to for music in a while. Don't get me wrong, you can still go there to dig up your favorite classic mixtapes. Don't get it twisted. It's still a viable platform. But I just didn't think, when I saw that he was dropping the project on Dat Piff, that's when I knew, okay, Wayne really going through some shit, because the Dat Piff app sucks. Nobody checking for that shit on Dat Piff. The only reason people was checking for Dat Piff is because of Dedication 6 most likely. So, Dat Piff, y'all need to work on y'all app, just being totally honest. But nonetheless, when I saw he had to drop that project on Dat Piff, I was like, oh man, Wayne really in some shit. He cannot drop the music he wants. That whole project was just a bunch of freestyles that he threw together just to keep the streets warm, which I don't mind. I understand what he was trying to do. So that's why, you know, I give Wayne a pass about some of the stuff he dropped. Don't get it twisted. He dropped a dope song with Joel Santana. I forget what it's called though, but it definitely sounded a little outdated, but the bars were there. It was hard. I love when Wayne and Joel's get together. But back to the project, he really saved, like I said, the best verses, best songs, and beats for the album. We all, like, it's really not to be determined. You can really skip around the project and just really just Can't Be Broken, Dedicate, Famous, Hitters, Took His Time, Let It Fly with Travis Scott, Don't Cry, Dedicate, Mess, Dope New Gospel with featuring Nevaeh, his ex-wife. It's just so many dope songs on the project. So many dope verses. You really feel Wayne, like you really get a sense for his freedom, I guess you'll say, on the project. He managed to link back up with Swiss Beats for Uproar, which was dope. Swiss Beats production always gets me hyped. Swiss Beats production always gets me, you know, ready to Harlem shake, ready to just fucking Millie Rock, just do whatever. Swiss Beats production is fuck it, let's work. You know what I mean? Everybody know, right? um, the song "Uproar" is dope. It's definitely one of the more popular songs off of the project so far. There's definitely other songs that's popping off of it. Do not get it twisted. But I think that's the more notable, or the more, like, the one initially that everybody's gravitating to, because it got that Harlem vibe, it got that bounce. Uh, I think the dopest thing I like about that song is it might it might be the sample. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, and I really hope I'm not mistaken, they sampled, just like I thought, they sampled "Special Delivery" by G-Dep, a Harlem native. G-Dep was signed to Bad Boy, I believe, with Mace and all them, and the Locks at the time. Uh, they sampled "Special Delivery" by G-Dep, legendary classic song. That song is so Harlem, it's ridiculous. Uh, he also, and I don't know how he managed to do this, but he managed to get XXX Tentacion vocals on the project. R.I.P. X. You know, we pray. You know, we praying for you, bro. Um, Rest in paradise, most importantly. But he managed to get XXX Tentacion vocals on the project, and I must admit, oh, the song is "Don't Cry," the second track on the project, but the first official song on the project. Um, I gotta admit, that song "Don't Cry," there's something about it that just gives me a feeling. When I listen to XXX Tentacion's music, it's always about a feeling with me. Um, and even then, on his 17 project, that was deeper than just a feeling. It was, you know, it was deeper than emotion. His lyrics was just, you felt them on everything he said, and it wasn't your stereotypical hip hop project. Um, XXX wasn't your stereotypical hip hop artist, and I think that's one of the dope things about this song is that when X's vocals come on, you know, Wayne does his thing no matter what, and throughout the song, Wayne pays homage to X, and you know, says "Rest in paradise," and you know, he truly, I think that's why one of the reasons he made this one of the first songs on the project, because he had to pay homage to the young boy. He had to, especially for using his vocals, and he passed away. You got to, but X's vocals in that song are just amazing. There's something about them. I can't really explain it. I'm sorry. Like, the crooning, is something about it. I can't really deny it. And I don't think anybody can really deny X vocals. When you feel, the thing about X vocals is that you feel his pain. You feel his sadness. You feel the words he's saying. And I think that was the dopest thing X did for that song. He added a whole nother ambiance to that song. And it was extremely dope. Another person's vocals on the project who was absolutely stunning was Nicki Minaj on Dark Side of the Moon. I gotta admit, that Dark Side of the Moon record is dope. It's dope. When Wayne and Nicki get together, especially when Nicki is singing for the most part, Nicki just has a beautiful, beautiful voice. I always love when Nicki rap, but I just hate that dumb slowed down flow she does. Like, I don't know, it's like a slow motion flow she has. I love when Nicki raps, and I love when she sings because her voice is amazing. One of my favorite songs by Nicki off her debut album, Pink Friday, was "Save Me," and she is killing it. "Moment for Life," vocals are amazing. I think that was one of the biggest things they channeled on that song, Dark Side of the Moon. Wayne kind of had her in her Pink Friday vibe, just with the vocals, just with the melody, just doing her thing. She made that song. It kind of gave me, and shout out to Wayno from Everyday Struggle, the Triangle Offense, for giving me that thought. He definitely it kind of gave me, I feel like, dying vibes. Remember that song about Wayne back in the day? I Feel Like Dying. It was just something about it. It gave me that vibe. And then Nicki on top of that added a whole nother layer to it, who made the song super dope as well. I think another thing about the album, just on the surface, is I think it was dope how he had his mother, how Wayne had his mom, sort of guiding you through the project with her voice, just giving you little excerpts or narrations before and after particular songs that clearly meant a lot to Wayne. Um, that was another thing I really loved about the project. It's nothing like a mother's love. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Um, you know, we value Mother's Day more than Father's Day. Shit. Dad get a fishing rod, mom get a whole day just getting treated. Um, Wayne definitely came a long way just as an artist, and with his relationship with his mom, I think that really was embodied on this project. All in all, just from what I got from the project, just on the surface, dope project, without a doubt. Very good, very good. I don't rank this as the best Carter, in my opinion. This isn't my favorite Carter project, but it's definitely not my least favorite Carter project. See, I'm not going to say worse, because none of the Carters are terrible at all. There's only one Carter that I really just don't care for, but there are definitely a handful of songs I like off of it. But just as a project, I just didn't think it was that cohesive. Wayne did a good job balancing the current sound of music while remaining in his pocket. He did exactly what we thought Wayne was going to do, and that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. He did exactly what he thought we was going to do. He did what he was supposed to do. He didn't undersell, and at the same time, he didn't over deliver. He gave us exactly what he wanted to. He gave us exactly what the streets needed with the Carter 5. So, if I'm ranking this Carter amongst my favorite Carters, I would have to do Carter 3. Then, after the Carter 3, I gotta go with the Carter 2. After the Carter 2, I gotta go with the Carter 1. Then Carter 5, then Carter 4, dead last. Now, the album just came out, so my opinion could definitely still change. I'm still growing with the album. But Carter 3 is not being knocked off that top spot. And the Carter 2 is not being knocked off that second spot. So, between the Carter 1 and Carter 5, that at that point in time, those two projects can shift between spot 3 and spot 4. But the Carter 4 is staying in spot 5. There just wasn't enough songs on the Carter 4 that I loved. There are about maybe 3 or 4 songs that I really loved or I thought was dope on the Carter 4. But as a project, it just wasn't really for me, to be quite honest. Wayne is Wayne, but the Carter 4 just wasn't one of my favorite Carters. Carter 3 definitely was my favorite. But now that we got that part out of the way, I want to start getting into some of my favorite songs on the project. Starting with, well, hold on. Before I get into my favorite songs, let's talk about features. Because features aren't everything, but features make something. He had XXXTentacion, like I talked about, Travis Scott. He had Nicki Minaj, Kendrick Lamar. He had Sosa Man, Regina Carter, his daughter, Snoop Dogg, Ashanti and Mac Maine, Nevaeh, his ex-wife. You know, I think he did a good job with his feature choices. Um, he didn't overdo it. He didn't seem like he was reaching, trying to stay relevant. He worked with the people he honestly wanted to work with, and the features are very, very smartly placed. And they're spaced out pretty well. They're spaced out pretty well. I gotta admit that. Um, the dope thing, another dope thing about the features is the only the only newer acts on the album is XXX Tentacion, rest in peace. Travis Scott's not new, but younger. Uh, yeah, those are really like the only two really prominent younger acts that he really worked with on his project. He really, like I said, he stayed in his pocket and he worked with the people that he felt he had the best chemistry with, be it Nevaeh, be it Ashanti, or Snoop, or Mac Main, his daughter Regina Carter, um, Kendrick. You know what I mean? Kendrick is he not one of these new guys in the game, but he not an old head either. He's at that 9 year mark in his career, I believe, that 9 or 10 year mark, maybe 8 year mark in his career. So he's a veteran without a doubt. Um, I think he did a great job with his features. I think he didn't let the features. Um, he allowed the features to work the record. He didn't try to force the people to be something they weren't. Every feature worked perfectly, especially the feature on Start This Shit Off Right, which is actually one of my favorite songs on the project, but we're going to get into my favorite songs later in the show. Um, but yeah, all in all, uh, great, great features. Great features. I think another thing I took away from this project as a whole is um, just how introspective Wayne was, and I was hoping that he was much more introspective on this project because I didn't want him to just be spitting a bunch of bars because we know Wayne can rap our heads. Wayne can rap our heads into a fucking circle. He can rap all day, all night. It's no doubt. We all heard 10,000 bars, so we know what Wayne is capable of. I just wanted him to be a little bit more potent with his lyricism, be a little bit more focused, a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more introspective. Talking a little bit about things he's been going through these past several years. Um, that didn't necessarily have to be about his legal battles, but could have just been about just him emotionally growing as a man, as a father, as a businessman. You know, how much he's given to the game, how much he's given to his contemporaries, how much he's given to his proteges like Drake and Nicki, and things of that nature. Uh, I love that part about the project. Just him being just in his bag, just pouring it all out, just pouring it all out. But I'm going to get into some of my favorite songs, and this is in no particular order really. I'm just telling you in the order I got them written down. Um, Mona Lisa, Kendrick Lamar, arguably, easily the best song on the project by far, without a doubt. I don't think that can really be debated. Um, Mona Lisa, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Uh, the first thing I noticed off that song was both Wayne and Kendrick held their own in that project. Not one person, in my opinion, overshadowed the next or the other. They both had significant verses on that project, and both verses seemed like two different sides, but on the same coin. They were rapping from two totally different perspectives, but they were on the same. They were on the same spectrum, if that makes sense. I'm gonna say it again, because that was very mouthy. It was very wordy. The dope thing is that they were rapping from opposite perspectives, but on the same spectrum. Let me explain what I mean by that. The whole point of the song, the whole bottom line of the song was they talked about the deception niggas fall for from thirsty women, pretty much. Right now we live in the age of Instagram models. We live in the age of niggas getting trapped. Well, niggas been getting trapped, but we live in the age of if it wasn't recorded or if you ain't take a picture, it didn't happen. You always seeing rappers getting caught up, even celebrities. I'm just gonna say celebrities, but mainly rappers. You see so many artists just getting caught up with these devious women. Now let me say this: not all women are devious. Far from that. It's just not the pick of litter. Not the pick of the litter that these guys are choosing from. In Wayne's verse, he pretty much touches on how these niggas don't even dig. Other niggas be sending bitches to line up other niggas. It's so crazy. You gotta listen to Wayne's verse. Wayne literally told the perfect lick. It was crazy. He told the perfect setup story. It was wild. And it wasn't just a setup story. It was deeper than just a story. He was explaining how these women will literally, how some of these women in particular will bait you in so many different and unique ways, and it will literally be it could be a month-long affair before you actually get hit up. It's crazy. It's crazy. He was just explaining just how deep this shit get. It's crazy. Like when I was listening to Wayne verse, I was just like, damn, like that shit really be happening. And the way he broke it down, that shit just sounded too close to home. I'm like, yo, like it was just a dope perspective he gave. And then Kendrick's side, he gave a perspective of an innocent brother who loved his girl to death and do everything for her, but she's still stepping out on him. She's still on Wayne Instagram. Give me your phone. Like it's crazy. Like Kendrick never really been the street dude. What I mean is like he always been a good kid in the mad city. Always been surrounded by the negativity, but never really allowed it to train his mentality. But it helped him become the man he was today. And Kendrick and Wayne rapping on the song just balanced it off perfectly. Just balanced it perfectly. We gotta be honest, like Kendrick had Wayne in his bag. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. Kendrick had Wayne in his bag. Wayne knew for a fact when you hopping on a song with Kendrick, or you got Kendrick hopping on your song, Kendrick is one of the best lyricists, if not the best lyricist of all time. I'm sorry, I know his career is still going, but Kendrick will go down as one of the greats. And when you got one of the greats in your song, you better come correct. And Wayne is a legend in his own right, so he know what he got to do. Wayne can carry his own on any track, but you got to come a little different when Kendrick on a song, if that makes sense. I love, honestly, when Wayne and Kendrick get together. It's not really too often, but when it does happen, it's always magical. Also, Mac Main. If people don't know, Wayne and Mac Main, they damn near grew up together. I like how Mac Main started the song off right, actually. He didn't have too many bars. He just started the song off, priming you, getting you in that bag, getting you real jiggy with that shit. And then, Ashanti comes in, just love. I just love Ashanti, man. Her voice is amazing. And Wayne just did his thing on that song like I expected him to do. Just talked about, that girl that you do it all for, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a dope song. Just a dope song. Ashanti made that song. Her voice was like the perfect woven. It was just her vocals were woven into that track perfectly. Didn't overdo it. Didn't do too less. It was just a great song, in my opinion. Also, Dedicate, another dope song. Dope thing about this song actually is the fact that Wayne He states everything he's contributed to the game. He states how he's talking about how these rappers want to be him essentially, and I like I like when artists talk their shit like that. Another song. Oh, not move. Let me slow down. On Dedicate, another dope thing about it was he used 2 Chainz vocals, and I think that's cool because we all know 2 Chainz and Wayne dropped that compilation project, that duo project. Um, that was pretty much 2 Chainz paying homage to Wayne, and Chainz just explaining just how much Wayne meant to his career, meant to him as a person, as a man. I think that's dope when 2 Chainz and Wayne get together. Um, Another song that's one of my favorites, Open Letter. On this song's kind of scary because you hear Wayne talking in a way you've never heard him really. You hear Wayne rapping in a way he never really rapped before. In a sense, Wayne questions his own mortality on this record. He's reflecting on his past and how easily he could be selfish, regardless of people being selfish towards him. But he chooses not to be selfish. He chooses to be the giving person he is. And he's still questioning his true meaning. He's asking his purpose still. I think we're always on that constant search, that constant journey of evolving and trying to find our true purpose in life. And on Open Letter, Wayne is essentially venting, pouring his heart out to the listener. How many of us often question our own mortality? I don't think enough of us do it, which is why most of us are doing the dumb shit we fucking doing out here. Not realizing that this shit come to an end. Life, temporary. Life is given. Now, living it to the best of your ability is another thing. Anybody can make a child, you know what I mean? But not everybody can raise a child, Life, this thing called life that we're going through is far from a game. You can have fun along the way, but what does it all mean? What's your meaning? What's your purpose? What's your dreams, your aspirations, your goal? Why are you here? We all weren't just put here to just exist. And I think that's what Wayne's trying to get at. He's just attacking it from a different angle. We all weren't just put here to just exist. We were all put here to make a difference in someone's life, someone's lives, if not our own. We all got to recognize our meaning. We all got to pen that open letter to ourselves sometimes, just to get our thoughts, our emotions down on paper, just to make it tangible and say, damn, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I've been doing. Damn, I'm not living right. I got to make a change. I got to make a transition. I got to make a switch. You know what I mean? Some of us got to really just sit back sometimes and just question our mortality. This shit come to an end. That's why I'm trying to do the best I can with this podcast and, just being a professional, just trying to just live my life to the fullest. And I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to die or get old saying that, damn, I never took that chance with the podcast or my dream. I got to go forward. I got to move forward. I got to push forward. Life is too short. Extremely too short. We all got to find our purpose. Moving on. One of my other favorite songs, the last song, Let It All Work Out. That song might be Wayne's most personal yet. Just to break it down, he sampled Indecision by Sampha. So you heard Sampha's vocals on that track. Introspective Wayne is the best Wayne, without a doubt. On Carter 3, when he was introspective on songs like Tie My Hands or Misunderstood or Playing with Fire or Three-Peat or Mr. Carter or he was even kind of introspective on Let the Beat Build. It's just I just love introspective Wayne. Hustler music. I love when Wayne's introspective. It's the best version of him. The interesting thing about this song is Wayne revealed what really happened when he shot himself. All this time we thought it was an accident, but it wasn't. I think, and if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody who's listening, but Wayne admitted that he tried to commit suicide. He cried to the gun. He cried with the gun to his head. He cried. Just, I don't know. Maybe that was a time in his life where he really was questioning his meaning, his purpose, questioning everything he's been through. Wayne doesn't come from an easy background. Let's not get it twisted. Grew up in Louisiana. No easy place to grow up. And, obviously judging by the music and what he's given us and shown us, it made him to the man he is today. And he been in real situations. And at that point in time, when he had that gun to his body, he questioned his own mortality. And sometimes it take a life-altering moment to really change the way you live, change the way you move, give you a whole newfound hunger. But all in all, it all worked out, which is the perfect ending to the album. The Carter 5 was a dope project. I'm honestly about to go listen to it right now. Because I keep constantly just thinking about songs I like from it and finding new things I like about the song. Just to wrap it up, the Carter 5 was long awaited. Lil Wayne, we waited. And you came, you saw, and you conquered, sir. It's a dope project. I like the project, and I think it's only going to grow on me more and more. Lil Wayne, Louisiana, Wheezy F, baby. I salute you, sir. This was the perfect album to wrap up the Carter series. And I'm just looking for more and more dope content from Lil Wayne now that he's free and he's able to operate the way he sees fit. Why are you listening to this project, though? Don't just listen for the beats. Don't just listen for the hot bars. Don't just listen for the punchlines. Don't just listen for the hundreds of gun metaphors that Wayne can make. Don't just listen for that. I want you as a listener, as a true fan of hip hop, to dive deep into this project. I want you guys to listen to songs like Open Letter, songs like Let It All Work Out, songs like Mona Lisa, Took His Time. I want y'all to listen to songs like that. Even Dedicate. I want y'all to really dig deep into this project because Wayne is really, he's really pouring it out on this project. And I think we all can take something from this project. I think we all can take that. At some point in time, we will question our own mortality. And if not, we need to. Like I said, this thing called life, don't fuck with us. This thing called time, don't fuck with us. So the last thing we need to do is waste it. The last thing we need to do is play with it. No. We can have fun in between. You make time for play. But all in all, if you got a mission, you got a goal, you got an aspiration, you got a drive, you got a hunger for something, you better go get your fucking plate. You guys were tuned into the Let's Be Honest podcast. I'm your humble host, Big Bro Tone. Stay humble, stay healthy,